I love Long Island. I love boating. I have the water. I love biking. I have the bike paths.
I love fishing. I grew up on Long Island and lived here my entire life, and I really love that I can work in the city and then come home and go out on the boat with my family in the same day.
Long Island is a great place because it's very quiet and family-oriented. It's also great because it's so close to the city.
Long Island's got some of the best beaches I've seen anywhere. I go to a great law school, so I'm only 15 minutes away from the beach, so it's great. I can go there, catch some sun, boogie board, relax. Then I can head on back to the library and study all night, do well, and it's just the best of both worlds.
The education's really good, whether it's public schools growing up or even the universities and colleges you can attend now.
Nassau County is the safest suburban community of its size in the entire United States of America, and it will continue to get safer year after year.
We have some of the best schools in the country, but our property taxes that support our schools are becoming unaffordable.
Property taxes are about the biggest single expense in my budget.
While I love living in Nassau County, it's a beautiful area, it's very safe, you can't get anywhere because of the traffic.
I was raised here on Long Island. I went to school on Long Island, but right now I can't afford to live here on Long Island.
Suburbia was a brand new idea in 1947 when Bill Levitt built the Levitt Homes, affordable housing for returning veterans after World War II. Nassau County continued to grow and grow, residential building in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and commercial building in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Nassau County is a great place to live. We've got the lowest crime rate in the United States of America for any community our size, low unemployment. We have beautiful North Shore waterfronts and South Shore ocean beaches, great schools and health care, open spaces, and we're a stone's throw from the capital of the world, New York City. But we've got four big problems. Property taxes are making it difficult for people to afford to live here, some of the highest property taxes in America. Young people aren't moving back to their hometowns because they're not ready to buy a home, even if they were affordable. They'd rather rent and live in places where they can be with other young people. Traffic grows year after year, and pockets of poverty have been ignored for generations.
Now, everybody on Long Island is concerned about property taxes. The cost of living on Long Island is high. We need to change that, but we're not going to change it if the economic base of the region begins to erode because we lose young people.
We produce the best and the brightest young people in the world, and yet they leave to go to places where they can rent an apartment and get a job and have fun in the downtown.
In order to create a sustainable region, we need people of all ages to live, work, and play here.
Because right now, we're losing our kids, and we're losing our old people. And if we don't do a better job of making this a sustainable, viable place, we're done.
The plan for New Suburbia preserves all the things that we love about the place we call home, but it tries to address the four problems that we face. The 90-10 solution is our plan for the future. 90% of Nassau County space must stay exactly the way it is now, where your single-family home is, where the parks and open spaces are, where the waterfront is. We try to make it even better than it is now. But 10% of Nassau County must be reimagined and re-envisioned. Places where we can expand our tax base, where young people want to live, where people can get out of their cars, and where we can clean up blight. Whether it's cool downtowns in specific neighborhoods, or mega projects like the Lighthouse Project around the Coliseum, or Belmont Racetrack, or where the former Grumman property is. New Suburbia, in the 90-10 solution, says there are certain select places in Nassau County that must be completely reimagined and re-envisioned.
A lot of people are afraid of change, as we all know. I mean, if we change a stop sign on Main Street, we hear about it. Well, it's the same thing with redevelopment. So we're hoping that if Farmingdale can lead by example, hopefully build this beautiful downtown, that other elected officials and people of interest could come down and see it's not what you think, it's not the boogeyman. By even redeveloping a small portion of our downtown, we will be able to take some of that tax burden off our residents. And that's all we're talking about down on our Main Street, is changing approximately 10% or less of our village to become this new suburbia.
The county executive is right. The quality of life that's enjoyed by those living in the 90% area cannot continue unless change occurs in the 10% area. It is critical that we have economic development in our downtowns where we can actually provide housing for our young people, where we have cultural diversity, and we can have dependence upon our transit, on mass transit as opposed to our automobiles.
New Suburbia calls for affordable housing to be built near Long Island Railroad train stations. This is called transit-oriented development, and we look forward to future opportunities where we can see growth that provides affordable housing for our young people to stay on Long Island and access high-paying, high-skilled jobs.
90-10 solution being proposed by Tom Swazi is so exciting because it is all part of an effort to continue to transform the county, to evolve the county as the economy evolves and as the demands evolve. You just cannot stay the same.
It's a daunting task, but it's one that not only should be done, it has to be done for our economic and social survival. We not only have to build up at the core with a place like the Lighthouse, but we also need to pay attention to the small downtowns that have anchored the old suburbia, what was best about suburbia. Everybody needs to pull together in one direction, and that's what the new suburbia is all about.
And I believe in New Suburbia because I live and work here, because I raised my family here. And the future of my next generation is for a better place to live, where you can work, where you can live, and you can afford to live and enjoy the things that we've come to love as suburbanites in America.
My father immigrated from Italy, and my mother from Queens. Nassau County is where we lived our piece of the American dream, and this is where I raised my family, and will always stay here. I believe in Nassau County. I love Long Island. It's time for us to stop playing defense. Stop trying to hang on to yesterday the way it was in the good old days, and start playing offense. Let's make it better than it is today. Let's make Nassau County a model for the entire nation under the sign of New Suburbia. I know that working together, we can do it.